Do you feel like your body doesn't have the same strength it used to? Maybe it hits you when you're climbing a flight of stairs, when you stand up from a chair, or even when you carry groceries into the house. What used to feel effortless now feels heavy. And you pause for a second thinking, why is this getting harder? If you're over 60, you're not imagining it. Science tells us that after the age of 50, most adults start losing about 1% of their muscle mass every year. And it doesn't stop there. By 60, this natural decline, known as sarcopenia, accelerates. That's why so many people start to notice weakness, slower movement, and a loss of confidence with age. It is not just a getting older, it is a real physical change happening inside your muscles. But here's the truth most people don't know. This process is not permanent. You are not doomed to lose your strength. Even after years of decline, your muscles can still grow. They can still become stronger. They can still protect your joints and give you the energy and power to move with confidence again. Think of it like this. Your muscles are not gone. They're just asleep. For years, they may have been underused because of sitting too much, avoiding exercise, or moving less due to pain. But with the right movements, you can wake them back up. You can send signals to your body that say, it's time to rebuild. And your body will listen no matter your age. The real problem is that most people are either doing nothing, accepting weakness as inevitable, or doing the wrong kind of exercise. They try to copy routines designed for 20-year-olds, full of fast movements, heavy weights, or risky positions. That usually makes things worse. The joints ache, the tendons flare up, and the cycle of giving up continues. But research shows a very different story when older adults use the right approach. Studies prove that targeted, simple strength training can not only stop muscle loss, it can reverse it. Muscles that have weakened for decades can regain fibers. Balance and stability improve. Everyday tasks like walking, climbing stairs, and getting up from the floor become easier. And maybe the most important part, the fear of falling, of being fragile, starts to disappear. Instead, you begin to trust your body again. And it doesn't take hours at the gym. It doesn't require complicated machines. It doesn't even take more than a few minutes each day. What matters is consistency, awareness, and choosing the right exercises. In this video, you will discover 3 of the most effective movements you can do at home to recover muscular strength after 60. These exercises are safe, simple, and proven. They target the muscles that matter most, your legs, your core, and your upper body. Together, these are the foundation of strength for life. We'll begin with the legs, because they are the pillars of mobility. Strong legs give you independence. They let you stand tall, walk confidently, and prevent the falls that become more common with age. The very first exercise we'll explore is called the chair stand. It looks simple, but it is one of the most powerful ways to rebuild lower body strength safely at home. The first exercise we'll cover is the chair stand. At first glance, it may seem far too simple. You sit down, you stand up, you sit down again. How could something this basic rebuild your strength? But the truth is, this single movement is one of the most powerful ways to restore lower body function after 60. Think about it. How many times a day do you go from sitting to standing? Getting out of bed in the morning, rising from the dining table, standing up from the sofa, using the bathroom, getting out of the car. This motion is repeated dozens of times every single day. And when it becomes difficult, life suddenly feels harder. Many people begin to push off their thighs with their hands or rely on armrests just to get up. Others start to avoid low chairs altogether. This is a red flag. It means your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes are losing the strength they need to carry you. And if left untrained, this weakness leads to dependence on others, or even worse, the risk of falls. That's why the chair stand is more than just an exercise. It is practice for life. It retrains your body to handle the single most fundamental movement of independence, standing up on your own. So how do you do it properly? Start with a sturdy chair, ideally without wheels. Sit on the edge with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Place your arms across your chest or straight out in front of you for balance. Then, push firmly through your heels and stand up tall. Keep your chest lifted and your back straight. Don't let your knees collapse inward. They should stay in line with your toes. Once you're fully upright, lower yourself slowly back down to the chair. Control the descent, don't just drop. That lowering phase is just as important as standing up because it strengthens your muscles in both directions. When you're just starting out, aim for 5 to 8 repetitions. If that feels too hard, you can modify. Place a firm cushion on the chair to make it higher, which shortens the distance you have to move, or keep your hands lightly on the chair's arms to help guide you. Over time, as your legs grow stronger, remove the support and increase your repetitions. 10, 15, or even 20 chair stands in a row is a fantastic goal. The key here is not speed. Many people think faster means better, but when it comes to recovering strength after 60, control is what matters most. Moving slowly ensures that your muscles, not momentum, are doing the work. It also protects your joints by preventing sudden impacts or misalignments. So what muscles are we actually working with the chair stand? The quadriceps, on the front of the thigh, are the primary movers. These are essential for walking, climbing stairs, and absorbing impact. The glutes, the large muscles in your hips, are heavily involved too. They stabilize the pelvis and prevent your knees from caving inward. The hamstrings at the back of the thigh assist in balance and coordination. Even your calves and core play a role, helping you stay steady as you move. It's a full lower body workout disguised as a simple daily action, and the science backs it up. Research has shown that older adults who practice chair stand exercises several times a week significantly improve their lower body strength, balance, and independence. In fact, many physical therapists use the chair stand as a test for functional health in older populations. The number of times you can rise from a chair in 30 seconds is strongly linked to your ability to live independently. And the best part, improvement can happen quickly. Within weeks, people often notice they can stand up with less effort, climb stairs with more ease, and walk longer distances without tiring. Of course, there are common mistakes to avoid. Don't rock your upper body forward or push off your thighs to gain momentum. This cheats your muscles out of the work they need to do. Don't let your knees drift too far forward past your toes, as this overloads the joint, and never plop down into the chair without control. The lowering phase is half the exercise. For those ready to progress, you can make the chair stand more challenging in safe ways. Try holding light weights in your hands, like water bottles or small dumbbells, or pause for a few seconds at the halfway point on the way up or down. These variations increase muscle activation and endurance. But remember, progression should always be gradual. The goal is not to exhaust yourself, but to build reliable strength you can use every single day. Now picture this in your daily life. You walk into your living room, sit down on the couch, and stand up easily without thinking twice. You get out of your car smoothly, without grabbing the door for support. You stand up from the dining table with confidence, not hesitation. That is the power of practicing the chair stand. It's not just building muscle, it's restoring freedom. So, take a moment to try it right now. Find a chair, cross your arms and stand up, then sit back down slowly. Repeat a few times, focusing on your form. Feel the muscles in your thighs and hips working. This simple exercise, when done consistently, has the potential to change the way you move every day. With the chair stand, you begin to rebuild the foundation of your lower body strength. But strong legs alone aren't enough. The next step is to focus on your core, because your core muscles are the bridge that connects your upper and lower body. Without a stable core, even strong legs won't protect you from imbalance or falls. That's why the second exercise is designed to activate and strengthen your midsection, giving you stability and power in every movement. If your legs are the foundation of your mobility, your core is the bridge that connects everything together. Without a strong core, even powerful legs and arms can't move efficiently. The core is more than just your abs. It includes the deep, stabilizing muscles in your abdomen, your lower back, and even the muscles around your pelvis. These muscles work every time you bend, twist, stand, or balance. And after 60, the core often becomes one of the weakest areas, even though it is one of the most important. Why is core strength so critical? Because it's directly tied to balance, posture, and protection. A weak core makes you more likely to stumble, lose your footing, or strain your lower back. It contributes to slouching, which compresses your lungs and limits your breathing, and it leaves your spine vulnerable to aches, stiffness, and even injury. On the other hand, when your core is strong, you stand taller, you move with control, and you feel more stable on your feet. That's why this next exercise, the seated knee raise, is such a powerful tool. It's gentle enough for beginners, but effective enough to activate the deep core muscles that matter most. Here's how to do it. Sit on a sturdy chair with your back straight and your feet flat on the floor. Place your hands lightly on the sides of the chair for support, but don't grip too tightly. Lift one knee slowly toward your chest while keeping your back tall. Hold it for a moment, then lower it down with control. Alternate legs, raising one and then the other. If you want more challenge, you can try lifting both knees together, but only if it feels comfortable. Start with 10 repetitions per side, moving slowly and breathing steadily. It may not look intense, but don't underestimate it. When you lift your knees, your abdominal muscles contract to stabilize your spine. Your hip flexors engage, and your lower back muscles support the movement. This coordination wakes up the entire midsection, reminding those deep stabilizers to do their job. It is not about crunching or bending, movements that often irritate the back. It is about controlled activation. One of the biggest benefits of the seated knee raise is safety. Traditional core exercises like sit-ups or leg lifts on the floor can strain the neck and lower back, especially for older adults. The chair provides support, keeping your spine in a neutral position. This allows your core to work hard without unnecessary stress. In fact, many physical therapists recommend seated variations as the first step to rebuilding core stability in seniors. Let's talk about common mistakes. The most frequent one is leaning backward as you lift the knees. This shifts the work away from your core and puts strain on your lower back. Instead, keep your chest lifted and imagine a string pulling the crown of your head upward. Another mistake is moving too quickly, using momentum instead of muscle control. Remember, the goal is not to rush, it's to move with precision. Each lift should be slow, deliberate, and steady. You may also notice that one side feels weaker than the other. That's normal. Years of favouring one leg, sitting with poor posture or old injuries can create imbalances. The good news is that alternating knee raises help restore symmetry. Over time, your weaker side will catch up. So what are the real-world benefits of this exercise? Imagine getting up from a chair without wobbling, twisting to reach for something without straining your back, or carrying groceries without feeling unstable. These everyday actions depend on core strength. When your core muscles fire correctly, your spine stays supported, your movements stay balanced, and your body feels lighter. You don't just move better, you move more confidently. And here's another important point. Strengthening your core also reduces your risk of falls. Studies show that balance declines sharply after 60, largely because the deep stabilizing muscles aren't doing their job. By training the core with safe, functional exercises like this, you restore that stability. It's not just about building muscle, it is about protecting yourself from one of the biggest dangers of aging. Once you've mastered the basic seated knee raise, you can make it more challenging in simple ways. Hold each lift for 3 to 5 seconds before lowering. Add a gentle twist, bringing your knee toward the opposite shoulder to activate your obliques. Or place a small weight, like a water bottle, on your thigh to increase resistance. These variations keep your core engaged and progressing without needing fancy equipment. But don't forget, progress comes from consistency, not from doing the hardest version right away. Even if you start with just 5 controlled lifts per side, you're already sending a powerful signal to your body. You're telling your muscles to wake up, to re-engage, and to support you again. Within weeks, you'll notice improvements, better posture, stronger balance, and more control in daily movements. Think about how this could change your life. Instead of leaning on furniture for stability, you move freely across the room. Instead of slouching forward in your chair, you sit upright with energy. Instead of fearing a stumble, you trust your body to catch itself. That is the gift of a strong core, and it's within your reach no matter your age. So take a moment to try it. Sit tall on a chair, lift one knee slowly, lower it down, and switch sides. Feel your abdominal muscles tightening to hold you steady. That's your body remembering what it's capable of. And with every repetition, you are not just exercising, you're reclaiming the strength that age tried to take away. With the chair stand, you rebuilt the foundation of your legs. With the seated knee raise, you're restoring the stability of your core. Together, these two exercises are already transforming the way you move. But there's one more piece to complete the puzzle: your upper body. Strong arms, shoulders, and back muscles are essential, not just for lifting things, but for supporting your posture and protecting your joints. That is why the third exercise focuses on recovering upper body strength in a safe and effective way. Now that your legs and core are reawakening, it's time to complete the circle of strength with your upper body. Strong arms, shoulders, and chest aren't just about appearance. They are vital for function. They help you push open doors, lift objects, carry groceries, and even maintain good posture. Without upper body strength, daily tasks become harder, your shoulders slump forward, and your spine bears unnecessary stress. For older adults, weakness in the arms and chest often leads to limited independence and a greater risk of falls, because the arms are no longer strong enough to help stabilize or catch the body during a stumble. The exercise we'll focus on is the wall push-up. You may have seen it before, but don't underestimate it. While it looks simple, this movement is incredibly effective at reactivating the upper body muscles in a safe, low-impact way. It removes the strain that traditional floor push-ups can place on the wrists, shoulders, and lower back, while still giving you all the benefits of pressing strength. Here's how to perform it. Stand facing a wall with your feet about 2 feet away. Place your hands flat on the wall at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Your arms should be straight, but not locked. Now, slowly bend your elbows and lean your chest toward the wall, keeping your body in a straight line from head to heels. Pause for a moment, then push yourself back to the starting position. That's 1 repetition. It may feel easy at first, but don't let that fool you. When done with control, wall push-ups strongly activate the chest muscles, the front of the shoulders, the triceps in the back of the arms, and even the stabilizers in your upper back. These are the exact muscles that weaken fastest with age, leading to rounded shoulders and reduced strength in daily life. The beauty of this exercise is that it brings them back into action without strain. Common mistakes to avoid: first, don't let your hips sag or your back arch. Your body should stay in a straight line as if you're holding a plank against the wall. Second, don't rush through the movement. Slow, steady repetitions are far more effective than quick, sloppy ones. And third, make sure your elbows are bending outward at about a 45-degree angle from your body, not flaring straight to the sides. This keeps your shoulders safe and allows the chest to do its job. How many should you do? Start with 8 to 10 repetitions, resting as needed. As you get stronger, increase to 15 or even 20 in a row. The progression comes not just from adding reps, but also from adjusting your body position. Step your feet further back from the wall to increase the angle. This makes the exercise more challenging because more of your body weight is involved. Over time, you can progress to doing push-ups against a countertop, then a sturdy table, and eventually, if you choose, the floor. But even if you never leave the wall, you will still build meaningful strength. Why is this exercise so powerful? Because pressing strength is part of almost everything you do. Getting out of bed, rising from the floor, pushing yourself up from a chair, carrying boxes, even catching yourself if you stumble, these all require the muscles of your chest, shoulders, and arms. By training them in a safe and functional way, you're preparing your body for real-world challenges. And let's not forget posture. As we age, many of us develop rounded shoulders from years of sitting, reading, or using computers. This not only looks older, but it compresses the chest and lungs, making breathing less efficient. Wall push-ups strengthen the muscles that open the chest and stabilize the shoulders, helping you stand taller, breathe better, and move more freely. Science backs up these benefits. Studies in geriatric rehabilitation show that progressive push-up variations improve not only muscle mass and strength in older adults, but also bone density, particularly in the arms and upper spine. That means better protection against fractures and osteoporosis. In other words, this isn't just an exercise. It's a shield for your upper body health. You might be wondering, what if my wrists hurt against the wall? Simple. Place your hands on a soft towel or turn your palms slightly outward to reduce strain. Another option is to use your fists against the wall instead of flat palms, keeping the wrist straight. And if you need extra support at the start, place the wall closer by standing with your feet nearer. Remember, the goal is to activate muscles, not to push through pain. With consistent practice, the changes you'll notice can be dramatic. Carrying heavy bags feels easier. Pushing up from a low seat feels smoother. Your shoulders feel stronger and more stable, and your chest opens up, giving you better posture. And just like with the legs and core, you'll feel a renewed sense of confidence. Picture yourself walking into a room, standing tall, and opening a heavy door with ease. Imagine lifting a grandchild, or carrying groceries without hesitation. These small victories add up to a life of independence and vitality. That is the promise of rebuilding upper body strength, and the wall push-up is your gateway to achieving it. So find a wall, place your hands, step back and try it right now. Lean in, push back and repeat. Feel the muscles of your chest and arms working, your shoulders stabilizing, your posture aligning. That's not just exercise. That's you reclaiming your strength, one controlled push at a time. With your legs strengthened by the chair stand, your core stabilized by the seated knee raise, and your upper body reawakened by the wall push-up, you now have a complete trio of exercises. Together, these form a powerful routine that anyone over 60 can use to recover muscular strength safely at home. But there's still one more piece to the puzzle: recovery and consistency. Strength is built not just by training, but by allowing your body to adapt, heal, and grow stronger. And in the final part of this journey, we'll talk about how to maximize your results, reduce soreness, and keep your body feeling good for the long term. You now know 3 of the most effective exercises to recover muscular strength after 60: the chair stand, the seated knee raise, and the wall push-up. Together, they target your legs, your core, and your upper body, the 3 pillars of functional strength. But exercises are only half of the story. To truly regain strength, you also need to give your body the care and consistency it needs. That means stretching, recovery, and the right mindset. Let's start with stretching. As we age, muscles and connective tissues naturally stiffen. This stiffness doesn't just feel uncomfortable, it restricts movement and increases the stress placed on joints. That's why it's important to pair strength with flexibility. After your chair stands, take a minute to stretch your hamstrings by sitting on the edge of a chair, extending one leg forward and reaching gently toward your toes. After your seated knee raises, stretch the hip flexors by standing, stepping one foot back, and leaning slightly forward. And after your wall push-ups, stretch your chest by placing your hands on the door frame and gently opening your arms. Each of these stretches helps restore balance, ease tightness, and prepare your body for the next day. Recovery also means knowing when to rest and how to manage soreness. Some muscle fatigue is a sign of progress. That gentle ache the day after exercise is your body rebuilding itself stronger. But sharp pain, swelling, or joint discomfort is a warning sign. That's when simple tools like cold packs or gentle heat can make a difference. Cold helps calm inflammation after activity, while heat relaxes tight muscles at rest. And don't underestimate the power of gentle movement on your off days. Walking, light yoga, or even gardening can keep circulation flowing and joints lubricated. Motion is medicine. The next key to recovery is consistency. Many people expect results after just a week or 2, but the truth is, building muscle takes time, especially after years of decline. The good news, even small improvements add up quickly. The first week, you might notice standing up from a chair feels easier. By the 3rd week, walking around the house or climbing stairs might feel smoother. By the 6th week, you'll realize your body is moving with more power and your confidence is growing. That's the magic of steady, consistent practice. But perhaps the most important recovery tool is mindset. Too often, people over 60 believe it's too late. They think muscle loss is permanent or that exercise is dangerous. Science proves the opposite. Studies show that older adults who start strength training in their 60s, 70s, or even 80s can build muscle mass, increase bone density, and improve balance. Your body is always capable of change. The key is giving it the right signals. And here's something powerful to remember. Strength is not just about muscles. It's about independence. It's about the ability to rise from your chair without help, to walk confidently across the street, to carry your own groceries, to play with your grandchildren, to enjoy the life you love without hesitation. Every repetition of the chair stand, every lift in the seated knee raise, every press in the wall push-up is an investment in that independence. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You sit on the couch, then stand up with ease. You walk into the kitchen, carrying 2 bags of groceries without struggle. You open the front door, shoulders back, posture tall, no slouching, no hesitation. That's the version of you these exercises are building. Stronger, steadier, and more confident. And remember, you don't need perfection to see results. You don't need to do dozens of repetitions every day. You just need consistency. A few minutes, several times a week, performed with awareness and care. This is not about punishing your body. It's about teaching it to thrive again. So here's your plan. Practice the chair stand, the seated knee raise and the wall push-up 3 to 4 times a week. Add gentle stretching afterward. Use cold or heat if your knees or muscles feel sore, and keep your body moving daily with light activity. This is the formula to recover your muscular strength after 60. Simple, safe, effective. And before we close, let me leave you with this. You are not fragile. You are not too old. Your body is not broken. It is ready to be rebuilt. Every muscle fiber you activate, every repetition you complete, is proof that your body still listens, still adapts, and still grows stronger. If this video helped you, share it with a friend or loved one who needs the same encouragement. Subscribe for more simple, science-based exercises you can do at home. And most importantly, take action today. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll feel the strength returning. Recovering your muscular strength after 60 isn't just possible, it's life-changing. And it all begins with these 3 exercises.